Welcome back to another episode of Turf Therapy. In this video, we're going to do something a little different. As you guys know, I have recently learned how to make my own DIY wine. Special thanks to the lovely teacher, Miss Grape. A lot of people wanted to follow along when we did it. They couldn't for whatever reason. Some people, it was just a little too expensive to buy all the things that they needed to make wine the way that we chose to make wine, the more refined process, the one where you can really dial in certain flavors, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Today, we're gonna hit the easy button. You're going to want to grab you a juice, grape juice, preferably, right? Because that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. And the one thing that you wanna make sure is that your grape juice does not have anything in it that's going to kill the yeast that we introduce to start the fermentation process. So don't panic when you see ascorbic acid or citric acid. Those things are fine, but when you see sulfates and sulfites, we're going to want to avoid those at all costs, okay? And if you stick with this brand, then you'll be good, all right? Let's move on to the next step. Now, the next thing you're going to want is just some active yeast, right? So I got two different brands here. I got an instant yeast quick rise from Red Star, and then I got another bread yeast active dry SAF. I don't even know what SAF stands for. My wife, she's the baker, not me. Moving forward, you're also going to want some type of measuring cup or measuring device. You're going to need just some regular white pure cane sugar, and you're going to want a large cup. Preferably a cup that can hold at least 16 ounces, okay? And I'll show you what we're gonna do with this later. Now this is pretty simple. We have a 96 fluid ounce bottle of grape juice. I'm not gonna get into the specifics as far as what my original OG readings were, but if you're interested, I'll drop that in the description below to see the readings that I got, and we're about where you should be when you're done with this process. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna pour off, and I want you to pour off 10 fluid ounces of this juice. Pour it off, right? I'm gonna do it to that one. The next step is pretty straightforward and simple. I want you now to take your sugar, and I want you to pour 8 ounces. 8 ounces of sugar into each one of your containers. We want to go ahead and dissolve that sugar as much as possible. So go ahead and give it a good shake, okay? Okay, so now we are almost done, guys. So what I'm gonna do, like I told you, I'm using two different types of yeast. I got my Red Star over here. So I'm just gonna put RS on top of this one. And then I got this SAF, which again, I don't know what it stands for, but SAF active yeast. Not sure about the rapid yeast. I mean, if that's what you got in your cabinet, throw it in there. I'm sure it'll work. Now, you want to take your yeast, and then I want you to just simply, make sure I got my tops right, pour it in. Just pour that yeast in there. Now something I didn't mention in the beginning, that I'm gonna mention now is, make sure your juice is room temperature, okay? This part is optional. You don't have to do this at all. I'm gonna go ahead and do it though. Give it a good shake. Just so I can make sure that yeast gets to where I want it to be, right? I want you to screw your cap all the way on, then unscrew it an entire turn. Make sure it's loosely fitting on the top of it. Now, the last step you want to do is you want to label it. Now today is, I think it's the 13th. Pretty sure it's the 13th of January. So I'm gonna put 13 Jan on here. 13 Jan, I'm just writing right on the bottle. And now you want to store it in a cool, dark place. All right, guys, so I just got off work. We are about 4 hours short of 24 hours of starting our initial fermentation, also referred to as a musk. So let's pop in here and see if we got any activity, okay? All right, let's get to it. So this is what we're working with, guys. It's funny how yeast works, different strains of yeast. This one right here, this is our Red Star yeast, and look at it. She's going to town, right? So that's good. That's what we want to see. Now, on the other hand, this is the SAF. Now, she does not look like she's working as hard as this one, but she is in fact doing her own thing at her own pace. And this one has had a lot more bubbles come out to the point where it looks like, yeah, she's about to come out the top. So, but we're fine. If it spills out, I'll clean it up. So less than 24 hours, we are cooking. So this is a good sign. We'll check back in here in a couple of days to see what we got. All right. We got a mess, guys, over here on the SAF. It was too much going on for this to maintain the top one. The top literally blew off. So I'm going to tell you, for the SAF, you're probably going to want to poke holes in the top. Let me get this stuff cleaned up, get it reset, and continue on our journey. We should be fine. I doubt any bugs or anything got in there. So I'm going to let this continue to brew. Looks like we still got activity. You see the bubbling is still happening. So I just need to get this cleaned up and then let the brew continue. So far, if you're using the Red Star, it looks like you'll be all right to leave the top on. But if you're dealing with this SAF, just the way it ferments, you're going to want to poke some extra holes in there, or probably pour off 12 fluid ounces instead of 10, just to give it some extra headspace. All right, I'll bring you back. Okay, guys, so here we are. We got our SAF yeast right here. This is the Red Star. We already know that the Red Star worked a lot faster than the SAF. So before we pour this off, I just want to show you guys something real quick. If you can see that film, let me see if I can zoom in. Let me zoom in. Well, you can see it a lot clearer over here on this one. This film at the bottom, right? When this must is complete doing its thing, you're going to see the film at the bottom. That's what we call leads. It's a little harder to see this one over here. Of course, there's more leads in our Red Star because we didn't have an overboil like we did with the SAF. As y'all know, on day 2 with the SAF, that thing, it kind of bubbled over on us, which is fine. So now we're here, and really this is the easy part. Check it out. All right, it's simply pouring it off. But before we pour it off, I know what y'all want to know. You want to know which one tastes better. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here and see which one tastes better. So I'm just going to steal a little bit from the Red Star. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there just a little. Hey, maybe I take a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. All right. So this is the Red Star. This one was really, truly done within 7 days, all right? So let's see what we got. Fruity, of course, is great. I like that. That's like a nice little party wine. Okay, we all rinsed up. Let's give this SAF a shot. Just gonna steal a little bit. Yeah, that should be plenty. That should be plenty. Now, to be honest, I don't think this one's been done nearly as long. But one thing with wine, you don't really want to rush wine too much anyway. Similar smell. I think we got more. Okay, cool. So, I think there's more grape here than over there. Overall, I'm gonna be honest, and this could be because I'm pretty young in the winemaking game. If you didn't tell me this was Baker's yeast, I wouldn't know. Yeah, but overall, very similar taste. So that's pretty much it. We've tasted them. Now, because the taste is so close, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour them off into the same container. No need to keep them separate. I did it so you guys could see that you could use either or. Just keep in mind, and I guess the dryness is about the same, so maybe that's just about right. There's something different happening there. I can't put my thumb on it quite right now, but it's a young wine, keep that in mind. But it's good, very drinkable. I've had worse that came out of a bottle, out of the store, all right? And I say that meaning this doesn't taste bad at all. Like, I've just had terrible wine, and I would have preferred to have this wine that I made in my closet rather going to the store and buying it. So at this point, guys, this is the last step. Now, we talked about the leads at the bottom. So if you don't have a siphon, I do have a siphon, but I just want to show you this, that you can do it without these tools. And you're just going to want to start a pour, and you want to keep it fairly consistent. And we're just going to leave the bottom. That's all we want to do, is leave the bottom. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna stop it there because that's where the yuckiness is. I'd rather lose this little bit of juice than have all of that in my container. And then you just repeat the process. Now with this wine, this is a juice wine, it's not a fruit wine, so you're gonna wanna consume this relatively fast. Good idea would probably be to pour a jug off, clean it, put it back in the jug, throw it in the fridge. That's all you gotta do. You don't need anything to stabilize it, and just enjoy it. It's really that simple, guys. And this probably is gonna be better chilled anyway. All right, well, that pretty much wraps this video up. I appreciate you guys checking in. Remember, we had Red Star SAF, and give it a try. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time, all right? Peace.